Hello, and welcome back to News Reviews for June 25th, 2024. Let's start with Fox News. AOC survives Democratic primary battle while Squad loses its first member in neighboring race. I have a hard time believing that AOC is getting voted back in, sort of like Governor Newsom of California and Justin Trudeau of Canada and all these people who supposedly keep getting voted back in. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But the Squad, this AOC, Ilhan Omar, there were rumors that she's married to her brother. The photographic evidence is pretty compelling. You have to make your own mind up about that. But there was a lot of information going around before about her being the daughter of a Somali terrorist. All that information seems to have been wiped except from Quora, where people were asking, and then even that's dismissed. And now when you search, all you find is stuff about her father passing away from coronavirus. And I don't know many people that truly pass away from the flu, but maybe it's true. But what I do know, there's Cori Bush again, and she's just not very intelligent. These three, Rashida Tlaib, Omar Ilhan, and AOC, pro-Muslim, and they are looking to push their agenda onto the U.S. Basketball player who towers over opponents goes viral for dominant performance. She's a giant. Let's see. I'll bite. 7'3", Chinese women's basketball player. Wow. Huge. Wow. How to protect your data from Facebook and Instagram's AI training. How about don't install those apps? Don't install any social media apps, especially not Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, and all those. What MSNBC has, conservative justices are already regretting a major Clarence Thomas ruling. Probably not. They probably don't regret it. But you want us to think they're regretting it. That's all scripted stuff anyway. In rarity, Trump vows to slash federal investments in education. Man, notice that little twist of deception there. It's not that he doesn't want to invest in education. It's just that the Department of Education is fully compromised, fully infiltrated, and full of DEI, the diversity, equity, and inclusion agenda that they keep pushing, and get rid of any of the agencies that are fully infiltrated. And kind of looks like all of them at this point. So I don't know, maybe starting over would be a good thing. It is written in the Declaration of Independence that it's actually our duty to throw off any government that has become despotic. But we have to be a little careful when we talk about that, because I have seen people be prosecuted for reading memes that slightly change the wording of the Declaration of Independence. And I feel like it was a trap or a trick when someone shared that and then they read it, then they got in trouble because it change the wording from to throw off that government to using the word overthrow the government. And the reason why that matters is because in 1940, something called the Smith Act was passed, and now it can be used against actual patriots or people who intend good for the people of this country. It can be used against them if you say things like overthrow the government and you have intent to cause an overthrow or destruction of any government. And the only thing that might be arguable at this point is that in 1957, they actually passed an offset ruling to this in Yates versus United States. And that ruling somewhat adopted a strict reading of the advocacy provision, construing advocacy to mean only urging that includes incitement to unlawful action. So you would have to imply that you wanted violence. Now, if any of you have been paying attention to the January 6th stuff and in my belief, it was staged insurrection or it was a false flag event, they are trying to use the wording that was incitement to unlawful action. So that way they can apply this to that, but it's not legitimate. It's not legitimate at all what they're trying to do. But regardless, we have to be careful. Even with free speech, the Smith Act suspends free speech, so that the wording of these things is crucial. You have to be very careful how you read things and make sure that you're not just reading a meme, that maybe is changing the wording. Oh, interesting. Dark side of the moon. China's Chang'e 6 probe returns to Earth, bringing for the first time rock and soil samples from our satellite's far side. Huh. Yeah, and if you believe that, I can actually sell you some land on the moon, but I won't go down that rabbit hole. Have you seen the footage of any of these moon landings? They're not very convincing. The original Star Wars was made many years ago, decades ago, and is more convincing to me than what they're showing now. All right, looks like we're caught up. I guess that's news for today. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.